So what did you know and when did you know it? That's the subject of today's video, and we're talking about the Trump people and market manipulation.
Mr. Trade Representative, are you aware that the tariffs have been paused?
I am, yes.
When were you made aware of that?
Well, I understood the decision was made a few minutes ago. It's something
Sitting here,
under discussion.
Sitting here, under discussion. So did you know that this was under discussion, and why did you not include that as part of your opening remarks?
Right, so if you understand what's going on here, we're seeing if we catch in this guy in a lie, right? So that's a representative asking the head trade rep for the Trump people, like, when did you know the pause, talking about the tariff pause was going to come into effect? That's a 90-day thing. And also, what did you know about the China tariffs, the new ones? The market shot up crazy today. So this is what we're talking about, market manipulation. And what did you know and when did you know it? Just listen to this stuff.
So typically what I don't do is divulge the contents of my discussions with
What are the
President
details of the pause?
Well, my understanding is that because so many countries have decided not to retaliate, we're going to have about 90 days.
No, excuse me? China increased their tariffs on the United States. Trump blinked.
What's the blink, sir?
What do you know about this pause? What are the details of it?
Well, the details, as I understand it, is that...
And the blink that we're referring to is, if you guys don't know, Trump had a bunch of tariffs on all the countries, right? He just lowered tariffs on all the other countries down to 10%. China, and then raised the tariffs on China to 125%, right? So now we're trying to figure out, okay, what did you know? When did you know it? Just watch some more.
China continues to retaliate. Other countries didn't retaliate. The president 2 or 3 days ago said we wanted to negotiate with those countries that asked for meetings. That's what we're doing.
What are the details? How long is the pause? How many days? How many weeks?
I understand it's 90 days. I haven't spoken to the president since I've been
So the trade representative hasn't spoken to the president of the United States about a global reordering of trade.
Yes, I have. I've just been in the hearing with you, sir.
But yet he announced it on a tweet? WTF? Who's in charge?
The president of the United States is in charge.
And what do you know about those details?
Well, as I mentioned...
it looks like your boss just pulled the rug out from under you and paused the tariffs, the taxes on the American people. There's no strategy. You just found out 3 seconds ago, sitting here, we saw you.
We've been discussing a variety of
If you came here knowing that you were going to be turned off, that these tariffs were going to be turned off, why didn't you include that in your opening statement? Why didn't you reference that as part of your testimony?
See, that's the key right there, right? If you knew that the pause was going on, why didn't you say it in the opening statement? And that's why it becomes a what did you know and when did you know it? And then now we're getting into like private conversations. Do I share with you or not? This is I mean, there's one of many scandals with the Trump people, I'm saying, but this one is a very big scandal, let's say a major scandal. Let's watch some more. And this is on top of the whole signal chat thing we just had. Let's just see.
Well, I don't disclose my conversations with the president, sir.
These were specific questions we asked you all along. What's the strategy? These are real consequences for the American people and small businesses. I had a group of small businesses in my office earlier today talking about the impacts of these tariffs on aluminum and steel. This is amateur hour, and it needs to stop. What does this even mean for your negotiating strategy? How are you in charge of negotiation if the president is tweeting about this from wherever the hell he is?
The president was elected, and he runs the trade policy, and I advise him and execute his trade policy.
Who executes the trade policy?
I execute the trade policy.
Did you know that this was happening?
We have been discussing all kinds of
And there's another
options.
member of the cabinet, Bessent, who just canceled coming to the Hill to avoid talking about the market because it's in turmoil.
And they do that a lot. You know, you'll summon Musk, you'll summon Bessent, and you have the Trump people, and they just don't show up, right? This is how they behave. And so then they send this guy Greer, that's supposed to be our trade rep, and you can see basically he's in a tough spot here because you don't want to lie to Congress. I'm just telling you. And I feel like you're catching him in a lie right here. We'll see how long he has his job. Let's keep watching though.
This in just days, because there was no strategy, there was no plan. The president chose to take actions that he didn't even have the authority to take. He's put our economy in disarray and near collapse. We have small businesses and Americans who are concerned about their well-being, people's retirement, people's 529 accounts went down because of this administration. We have people that are planning to send their kids to college this fall. People who are retiring whose benefits have declined. Is this market manipulation?
No.
Why not? If it was a plan, if it was always the plan, how is this not market manipulation?
It's not market manipulation, sir.
Well, then what is it? Because it sure is not a strategy.
Yeah, and that's the first thing I thought too, market manipulation. I want to hear your guys' thoughts on this. Like I said, I think they're catching them in a lie here. The other Republicans are didn't show, right? You don't want to be caught in a lie. And also, many people are quitting the Trump administration. That was just announced today. Many of the lawyers are quitting, which I'll show you guys in a moment here. And there's more call outs of the corruption with Musk. This particular hearing though, I mean, this is big. Let's keep watching.
We're trying to reset the global trade system.
You're,
That's offshored,
and
all of our factories.
And what has that done?
How
have you achieved any of that?
So the Trump people like Greer here is trying to make the case of like, well, we're bringing back all the factories. We're bringing back all the factories, right? And the guy's like, well, okay, where are your factories? Like, how's that done? Where are the jobs, right?
But to enact enormous harm on the American people, which was our concern from the very beginning. Tariffs are a tool. It can be used in the appropriate way to protect U.S. jobs and small businesses. But that's not what this does. So if it's not market manipulation, what is it? Who's benefiting? What billionaire just got richer? And all the while, there are not even any Republicans left in this hearing. They all left because they don't even want to defend this. But meanwhile, the speaker is rushing to the floor to pass a budget reconciliation to screw America by passing the biggest tax cut in history on the backs of the American people. WTF? Who's in charge? Because it sure doesn't look like it's the trade representative. You just got the rug pulled out from under you.
And my first reaction, I'm sure you guys feel the same. This is what I want in a representative. You want someone who fights for the constituents, right? And I've been seeing reports, all over that people in, small business, large business, whatever, they can't forecast anything in the future, right? It's hard to make any kind of plans because like everything's based on the ridiculous tweets of Trump. And it just looks like you're just figuring out ways to manipulate the market for your billionaire buddies. You got whatever crypto scam. Trump was, actually Musk was tweeting out about ridiculous crypto today. So that was skyrocketing, right? It's like crazy market manipulation. And you have to watch some more.
I wish I could feel some empathy. But the empathy I have is for the American people, whose very well-being and livelihoods are being affected. This is not a game. This is real life. I yield back.
Let the roof.
Now, this is a Republican, and you want to see what he says here is from Missouri, I believe.
In fact, the record reflect that there's more Republicans in this chamber than there are Democrats currently in this committee room. There's 6 of us, there's 5 of you. So let's make sure we get the facts right. I appreciate the president did not blink on China, as was said earlier, and it needs to be corrected in the record. In fact, he increased China by 125%.
Would you yield, Mr. Chairman?
I do not.
Can we have a colloquy?
No.
We don't want to talk about the trade policy here in the Trade Committee. This is our jurisdiction.
Your time has expired, and I'm more than happy to talk to you.
I asked if you would yield.
And I said no.
Because you don't want to defend the policy or the strategy. Kick me out. What you gonna do? Kick me out of
Mr. Yakum, you're recognized.
Did you guys see that? I mean, this is like the you have to deal with like with these. So ridiculous. Look at this guy.
Would yield.
And I
said no.
Because you don't want to defend the policy or the strategy. Kick me out.
Right? They cut his mic, and it's like I said no. So that's what we're going on. That's what we're dealing with. Also in the news today, I just want to show you guys this stuff. And that's what I was mentioning before. This was actually in the Wall Street Journal. They were talking about many companies are canceling orders. It's hurting both sides of this trade war between China and the USA. And for those of you who do business with sourcing overseas, a lot of people do in the USA, right? You develop relationships over years, and you know these people. And it's hurting both sides. Effectively, what's going on is taxes are going up on both sides. It's crazy. The Trump administration is in total chaos. You got the IRS chief just quit. I think this is like I want to say it's the third one in the last 4 months or something like that. It's insane. Now we're introducing a bill to try to limit corruption on Musk. We'll see if this gets through. I believe this is a Jeanine Shaheen. I actually worked with Jeanine Shaheen's office. This is in New Hampshire. When my wife and I was trying to get my wife a green card situation sorted out. It's a long story behind that. But I'll just say I have very positive feelings for Senator Shaheen and her office. She's been doing this a long time, and this is a good bill. It's basically, if you're a special employee like Musk, you can't get government contracts while you're overseeing government activity. It seems ridiculous, right? Being connected to where the funding is going, and to just divert it to your companies, etc. You also got this behind closed doors, and as you saw in that hearing there weren't that many people there because people don't want to defend Trump's trade policy, but Republicans are grumbling behind the scenes, of course. I mean, you guys know this is, if your constituents, and you saw the gentleman, Representative Horsford from Nevada, saying like, I got small businesses in my office, I have families in my office, like if you care about your constituents, you care about your voters, you are listening to them. And you got Musk messing around with your Social Security, etc. And then you got any number of lawsuits going against the Trump people, be it on immigration, be it on labor laws, etc. So that's why you get these kind of headlines. This is from Washington Post today. Many lawyers who argue for Trump at the Supreme Court are heading for the exit. Basically, people are resigning and quitting. Trump always likes to make the case that they have the best people, but it's just not the case. And then anyone who is good, they know to get out. It's you got to get out. So I'll be interested and curious what happens with Greer here, if he gets implicated in sort of market manipulation or he resigns. Certainly a possibility if he's being thrown under the bus by the Trump people to be a fall guy or whatever. So want to hear your thoughts on this. What do you think? And that's Greer right there. Do you think he'll be held accountable for any of this stuff? And Trump as well. I'll catch you all in the next video.